just yes.
I am always looking for amazing things to cook at home that take a minimal amount of time, because just like you guys, I am super time poor when I get home, especially when I've got a toddler running around wanting my attention. So 10 minutes guys, we're going to do this recipe. We are going to start off with a crispy egg because, you know, crispy egg porn, totally awesome for a weeknight. What you need is a hot pan. Add some oil. Now we're doing this Asian style, so we need a fair bit of oil here. Until that oil's hot by sticking a wooden spoon or a chopstick in there, and I want to see some little bubbles. So we're good to go. Just crack your egg. Carefully get this in. It's a little bit danger mouse, but it's worth it. You should hear the splash straight away. You should hear that sizzle straight away, and now you want to get in with your spatula, just kind of flick that oil over the top. And we want to wait till the bottom is really nice and super crispy, but I like to keep my yolk a little runny through the middle. And just pop that egg on a paper towel so the excess oil will drain off. Now for the greens. So I'm going to use Chinese broccoli, or what's called gailan, and the important thing here, any kind of stir fry, is the prep you do when you're slicing. We want to keep the firm, tougher parts of the vegetables separate from the leafy parts. So I like to just take a hold of these and just slice them lengthways through that fairly hefty sort of stem part. Because the other thing, of course, is that we want everything to cook beautifully at the same time and really quickly. Now just run your knife diagonally through the stems, and by cutting them like this, we're kind of thinning them out a little bit, and that's also going to help with the cooking time. Now keep your stems separate to your leaves. Now I'm not a stickler for the recipe instructions on this one. Whatever greens you've got at home, broccoli works really well, choy sum works well, bok choy works well. This is really one of those recipes you just want to have to hand that you can make with stuff in your fridge. Okay, now some garlic. Now again, with the garlic, it's about the chopping here. So I want to keep these quite chunky, these pieces, because that way my garlic won't burn in the wok. And now some chili. I'm using a mild chili here. You could also use capsicum or go for a really spicy hot chili too. And that is pretty much it. I've got some chicken mince here as well. You could use beef or pork or turkey mince. The great thing about using a mince is that we don't have to be slicing any meat here, saves extra time. And then for my sauces, I've just got pantry staples here: oyster sauce, soy sauce, and fish sauce. Now I've just drained off most of the oil from cooking the egg. I've left a little bit in the bottom there. And once that's nice and hot, and I'm going to add my garlic and chili. And in goes my chicken. And just when the chicken is almost cooked, I'm going to add in those stems. Now you just want to give this another minute or so until those stems are bright green, beautifully tender, but still crunchy. Okay, so at this point the chicken is cooked. I'm going to add in my green leaves, oyster sauce, soy sauce, and fish sauce, and toss all of that through. Oh, and look at that color. I love how beautifully nourishing and fresh and lovely this is. And there you go guys, done. Quick dinners don't have to be boring. They can be beautiful and so tasty. Look at that. And one of those beautiful crispy eggs on top. Now there's a fair bit of saucy goodness at the bottom of this pan, so I want some of that on my plate too. So there you go guys, the quickest dinner I know how to make, and look at that egg. Crispy, creamy egg, the chicken, the vegetables. This is really good. Yum. All right guys, just a few little additions, just, a few pantry ingredients, and you got yourself like one luscious pasta dish going on here. Let's have a look at making that sauce first of all. So this is like a riff on lemon spaghetti, like creamy lemon spaghetti, but with a few kind of twists and turns here and there. First off, with the sauce, you wanna start off with some olive oil and some miso paste. Yes, you guys know I love this one. It's the salty umami kind of factor that I'm going for here. And now you want some lemon zest. And then some lemon juice as well. And of course, we need a whole bunch of cheese here because like everything is better with cheese. That's what I think anyway. A whole lot of Parmesan is going in here. I'm not gonna lie guys, like this is totally not what you wanna be putting on your Instagram feed right now. We're gonna heat this through, stir it around. It's gonna be a bit ugly duckling at the beginning, but don't worry, trust me, it will all work out in the end, I promise. Okay, so even though it looks kind of like a little bit lumpy, it's just heated through. The miso is sort of kind of disintegrated there. So what I'm gonna do is turn the heat off and I'm gonna cook our noodles. And what are we going for today? We're doing some instant ramen noodles. So your little packet of convenience here. And we've got some little goodies in here. We've got some little vegetable flakes. We've got some little powdery spicy goodness here because this is like a spicy one. Of course I'm going to choose the spicy one. We might come back to those little additions later, but let's get these noodles out. And of course, because these are ramen noodles, they're really quick to cook, so don't overcook them. Get them straight into some water. And just kind of like jiggle them around and push them around until they are just al dente. Yes, ramen noodles, instant even, can be, al dente. Fancy. Makes it sound fancy, doesn't it? Just cook them till they're a little bit chewy. Now the cool thing about using these ramen noodles instead of spaghetti is that this gets done so much quicker. Spaghetti takes way longer to cook. And just when I can see those noodles kind of loosening up, I'm gonna get them straight into that sauce that we made. Now the real secret here to making the creamy sauce is not cream, it's actually to use some of that noodle cooking water. Pop that in, and that's gonna kind of emulsify and finish the noodles cooking and also give you that creamy sauce. I'm gonna add in some spring onions here too. Now you want the heat on here and you just wanna like toss and swirl that pan and those noodles for a couple of minutes here. And this is where the magic starts to happen, my friends. All right, have a look at that creaminess. Oh my goodness. It's this kind of like lush that gets me so excited. Okay, so at this point we want to have noodles that are perfectly cooked, so they're not overcooked, they're not soggy. We want to have that beautiful like creaminess going on there with the sauce. And if you need to add a little bit more pasta water, you can, but I think this is looking pretty good. Ah, look at that noodle pool, the steam, the creamy, oh my goodness, all the things. So dramatic. Who knew noodles could be so dramatic? And you want a little bit more cheese because, everything's better with cheese. Another little sprinkling of some spring onions. Okay, final little bits that are gonna like amp this up completely. I mean, it's already gonna be great, I can tell, because it's just so creamy and lush, but a little bit more. Just take your little seasoning packet. This is like a nice spicy one, so it's gonna give us a really great hint of, chili hit at the end. Hint of chili hit. Nah, I'm gonna put enough on here, it'll give you a good punch. And there we go. Like, I don't even think it's been 10 minutes. It's like 5-minute lemon ramen. Anyway, we'll put 10 just in case. I don't like to cheat you guys. I wanna make sure you can always get it done in the time.
Oof, let's have a look. Honestly, that is like just comfort in a bowl. Like you got the spicy, right? You got the spicy thing going on, you got the creamy thing going on, and then you got like that beautiful, like sort of citrus, lemon, like sunshine going on. Yes. Just yes.
First thing we need to do is get our vegetables prepped. So I'm just going to go straight in with my carrot here. If you've got one of these julienne vegetable peelers, they are so great because you can just strip away the little fine shards of the carrot. Now if you don't have one of these, don't worry, just buy shredded carrot already pre-done from your supermarket. It's pretty easy to find those these days. Okay, and to that we want to add a mixture of mushrooms. Now I've got some enoki mushrooms here, which I love for this soup because they turn into nice little silky tendrils all the way through our beautiful soup. And then just take your shiitake mushroom, and the stem itself is a little bit tough, so just slice through that mushroom and then remove the stem and then just keep on slicing. Okay, so they go into our pot as well. And then I've got some firm tofu here, and I'm just going to slice that through the middle. And I want some fine slices of that. And then we want some bamboo shoots and some cooked chicken. Now I'm just using some rotisserie chicken that I've shredded up, but leftover roast chicken would be good as well. Or you could keep this meat free and leave the chicken out. Okay, and now for our chicken stock. So you know what, I'm just using a store-bought stock today because it's the middle of the week and I'm in a bit of a hurry. If you've got homemade stock, of course, go ahead and use that. And then we want to get this mixture gently bubbling away on our stove top. I love this soup. So most kids, when they're at a Chinese restaurant, are ordering, you know, the chicken and sweet corn soup. I was always the hot and sour kid. Ordering the hot and sour soup was my favorite. And now time to add the seasonings. So I've got some light soy sauce here, which is just a regular Chinese soy sauce. And then I've got some dark soy sauce here for some color, some white vinegar. Now, if you've got some Chinese black vinegar at home, go ahead and use that. That would be the traditional vinegar to use here, but white vinegar is much easier to find, so you can use that one. And some pepper. So the main flavors in this soup are sour, salty, and then a really good hit of pepper. So I'm going to put quite a bit of pepper in there. And that is the hard part done, folks. We are just now waiting for this to bubble away, all those flavors to infuse and become nice and tasty. Oh, I just love the color of this soup. It's like autumn leaves, just lovely. Okay, so those mushrooms have softened now. It's only been a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna add in some corn flour mixed with a little bit of water, because of course this style of soup is quite thick. So I'm gonna add this in. And just like that, our soup is turning beautifully thick and glossy. I just want to let that bubble away a few more minutes to thicken up a little bit. And now let's try this out and see. That's good. I'm loving those really nice sour flavors, but you know what? I think I'm going to add a little bit more vinegar. And this is where your own personal taste will come into it. Add in some more vinegar. A little bit of salt if you think it needs it, because that of course depends on your chicken stock, how salty that was to start with. And because I like things spicy, I'm going to add in a little bit more black pepper. Such a simple soup, but so ultra comforting. All that's left now is to serve up and just sprinkle with a little bit of spring onion.